Okay, this is the planning board meeting for March 25th, 2025. We're going to stand and say the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'm going to do a roll call. Kimberly Smith,
Here.
Mona Abdullah,
Here.
Jared Buckner,
Here.
Deborah Friend, Michael, that's all right, Michael Milks,
Here.
Katrina Zambron.
Here.
Okay, we are a board of 6 as of right now. So I'm gonna give it to Chuck. He has a little spiel to go through.
Yep. Good evening, everybody. Again, this is the planning board. We're in city council chambers. The nameplates that are in front of us are not our names. These are the names of the city council. To my right is Christy Cooper from the law department. I'm Chuck Clark from development. And to my left is Scott Hayes and Steve Balin from code enforcement. We will do our best to identify ourselves when we're speaking. But in past meetings, there's been some confusion as to who people thought they were talking to. We are not the city council and we're not the names in front. So with that said, Ms. Smith, it is in your hands.
Thank you. Just welcome to our new board member. Thank you. Welcome aboard. Okay, so the first on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from our last meeting. Did everybody have a chance to look them over? Any questions? Okay, so if not. You good? Okay, all right, then I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes. Ryan motion. Dan Ryan second. All in favor? Aye. Oh, any opposed? Motion carried. So the next item that's on our agenda is from Alicia Jocelyn and Samuel Burton from O'Reilly Auto Enterprises.
That would be me.
Okay, so
I'm-
come forward and.
Yeah, so I'm Hayden Woods with Bowler Engineering. They're representing O'Reilly Auto Parts. They're proposing to purchase the 1.19 acre project site, which consists of 4 parcels, 1255, 1265, 1269, and 1271 on Abbott Road. The site, as you can see right here, is located on the corner of Abbott and Julia's. It's an existing auto shop located.
Hayden, excuse me, can maybe turn that around so Ms. Smith and Mr. Buckner can see just a little clearer.
Thank
So the existing auto shop is located roughly somewhere in this area. We're proposing to demolish that and completely redevelop the site with a new 7,650 square foot O'Reilly Auto Parts store, which will consist of 41 parking spaces, mainly being on the north side of the site, with 9 parking spaces on the south side, as well as the dealer door located right here. Some of the parking stalls along the frontage will be concrete, but most of them will be asphalt. A dumpster enclosure off to the rear, which will be screened with arborvitae's. We're proposing to close 2 curb cuts along Abbott Road and consolidate and make sure everyone goes through one entranceway off of Abbott Road. And we're gonna maintain essentially the existing conditions of Julian Ave with the wide curb cut. Let's set everything back further so people are safe, able to park here and maneuver before being on Julian Ave. Before this meeting, we were able to obtain our area variance reliefs for front setback, side, front yard loading and signage. We also had some discussions with the neighbors about landscaping, which went very well. We're proposing to completely screen this neighbor as well as maintain all existing vegetated buffer along this property line with the mature arborvitae's. We'll have dark light or dark sky compliant street lighting in the parking lot. Let's see if I'm missing anything.
You want to share with them the drainage conversation that you had with some of the neighbors?
Be a good point to bring up. So drainage right now, mainly meanders on into the back lot here where it just kind of sits, becomes very wet. Where now we're looking to improve that. We're under an acre, so we don't have to do a formal SWIP, but we did provide a stormwater management report, which does show we are reducing stormwater flows off of our property. That's required by DEC. Drainage will be routed to catch basins, which will go underground piping and connect into Abbott Road and Julian Ave. Roof drainage will be collected into a small depression along here, which has an equalization pipe and an emergency overflow into Julian Ave, which is routed to a nearby catch basin just in our frontage. So we are reducing stormwater. We're cleaning up existing conditions and making it a better site in that sense. One thing I do want to point out also is O'Reilly isn't developing the entirety of the site. A lot of this portion in the back is going to be maintained as lawn area. It will stay that way forever with this property. They frankly just don't need a giant parking lot to nothing. So I think that is
Perhaps address the snow plowing question too that came up earlier.
okay. Yeah, so the snow plows, mainly snow will be pushed from here to the rear. As well as we do have some areas here, if need be. And for Julian Ave, it'll be pushed into the small depression here, where it'll be allowed to melt and then go back into our equalization pipe. So no snow will be pushed onto adjacent properties. We are making the dealer door situation better for this neighbor, as right now they do have an overhead door in their trash enclosure right up against the property line. We're pushing all that to the east, closer to Abbott Road, and creating a better buffer and some more landscaping in that area to maintain privacy.
Scott Hayes, Code Enforcement. I just want to point out that for the zoning board meeting, there was probably 8 to 10 people from the neighborhood, and he answered all their questions, and they were happy with it.
One guy actually said, "Good job," and I'm not a guy. At a public hearing.
If he didn't have this meeting, probably would be on the
Chuck Clark from Development, if I could just make one more comment and then turn it over to the board. Mr. Gherkin, Chair of the Zoning Board, also pointed out to those who were here and to the O'Reilly team that the light that sits at Julian and Abbott will stay as it is, but there is a large reconstruction project of Abbott Road. Abbott Road's a county road. So there's a large reconstruction project that's happening from South Buffalo, probably extending past Willett. They may or may not evaluate the exact placement of that light, but for the time being and for the foreseeable future, the expectation is that that signal light that sits at Julian and Abbott just before the entry to the plaza around the Rent-A-Center will stay.
I can also address traffic laws. Well, that's a topic. So auto parts in general are low use in traffic. It's mainly, 3 to 5 people going there at one time. They don't expect much more than that. Parking on Julian Ave, for the most part, is going to be employee only parking. It's not going to be signed that way, but just given the orientation of the building and the distance from the main entrance door, it's going to promote that being just employee parking to reduce that off of Julian Ave.
Hayden, can you address the route that you had told the zoning board about?
Yep, so delivery will come off of Abbott. They'll turn off of Abbott and on our property back into this dealer door, and then come back off of Julian and to add it that way. So there'll be no truck traffic on this residential street, except for just in immediate vicinity.
Yeah.
Of the site.
Yeah, Chuck Clark from Development at the zoning board, probably folks that thought they were going to be at this meeting, that live on Relich. And Julian were concerned about, commercial vehicle traffic, as well as, uh, pedestrian traffic, but obviously they've got more than enough, parking space that should not be the issue. But the bigger issue was Wood Relich, which is to the west, and Julian to the south. Would that be taken up with any type of truck traffic? And other than the entry point, which is necessary, everything will be confined to the O'Reilly site.
Yep. I just remembered one more thing to add on to that. O'Reilly Auto Parts is kind of unique in their truck operations and where they own and maintain their own fleet. So if there is ever an issue with timings of delivery, or if a truck driver does decide for whatever reason to go that way, it's a single phone call and they can immediately
Stop in a store, Steve Young, code enforcement, we just stop in a store, talk to them and
Yes.
solve the problem. All right, that'd be
Yeah,
great.
so they, it's not like they use, a
Outside
different-
contractors, okay, that'd be great.
Jerry Buckner.
Oh.
Uh,
You want to go, Ken?
Ken Smith, I had a couple of questions. So just for clarification, where the quasi employee parking is gonna be, that entrance to the building is just for employees, it's not for the public, or is it?
Correct, so this is the dealer door, which is just for employees, it will be locked from the outside. This is an egress door, which will also be locked from the outside, but it is part of the, overall store. So people could potentially exit from that.
For an emergency.
In emergency purposes, correct.
And now I see the privacy trees that are gonna be alongside the neighbor.
Yeah.
Now, is there a fence as well?
There's an existing fence on this property owner's, lot, which we are going to keep.
And then around the back of their property?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
So now what about where your green space is? You said that's like, almost like a wetlands or a marshy area.
Correct, so essentially anything from here
Mhm.
is going to be maintained as is. I'm sure, knowing O'Reilly, they're going to seed it to supplement the grass growth there, to have a nice lawn, but besides that, it will be undisturbed. And all the disturbance will be within this area. I'm not sure if it shows up in the landscaping plan. It does not, but I will say that at least 80% of what is disturbed and not being planted will be immediately sodded. They don't hydro seed, they want the nice grass right away.
Is that a fence that's gonna be enclosing the green space as well, or?
Are you saying a fence?
No, all the whole marsh area, that wet area. So,
No, we're not proposing any new fences. There are fences essentially enclosing that on the other people's properties.
mhm,
So that will remain, but we are not proposing any fences.
okay. And I heard you say where a dumpster was, is that,
This is the
Okay.
dumpster.
Yeah.
Jerry Buckner. So right where that dumpster is at, is there a fence? Is that area right before the marsh or the grass, is that fenced in as well or no? Is that gonna be open?
This will be open. The dumpster will have its own enclosure,
Okay.
which will match the building. It's essentially, it's Trex boards that they build the enclosure to match the building color.
So going back to the drainage and everything, so, can you just kind of repeat that again? So for the parking lot area and everything, so, and the runoff from the building,
Yep,
where did you, so you guys gonna break ground and put like,
we're gonna put catch basins in, drainage manholes. I can actually show you better on this here. Where they're gonna be. So, actually. I think this is the drainage one. Yep. So. So all this water right here in the parking lot is gonna be routed to underground pipes. through catch basins. With an equalization chamber into this small depression, which will be roughly 2 feet. And it'll all eventually end up in Abbott Road, at a reduced rate than what it is today, which is required by DEC. So that, all that, very long, those long calculations can be found in our drainage report. I don't suggest reading it, it's not very riveting, but, you're more than welcome to. I'll skip back to the charts that really shows the whole picture. So, yeah, this whole drainage area will go, into these two catch basins, eventually out to Abbott Road. This right here along Julian is gonna sheet flow just like it does today into Julian, which gets into a catch basin, right here, right where it does today. Roof drains will go right into this depression. Again, if this ever gets too full, in a large storm event, we have an outlet right here that'll bring it all the way to Abbott.
Okay, that was the last question, so thanks for answering that. So, just so I understand. On that corner is LA Automotive, that building is coming down?
Correct, yes.
Okay,
So LA Automotive is, you can almost tell from the contours, but it's roughly right here.
okay. And so, and I guess, Steve, this is a question for you. So with the drainage, which it sounds pretty good to me, does that affect the neighbor or the neighborhood in terms of extra drainage and extra like snow removal and everything?
I
Does that-
feel like it's gonna be better than
You
it
think
is
so?
now.
I mean-
Yes, they're gonna add extra drainage to it and it's all gonna go into DIs in the parking lot. Yeah, but like I said, he did explain that to the neighbors who were concerned about that because the one guy on Julian said he is getting water in his property. And like Scott took pictures, there's the DI there already. So it is all gonna drain in there and all that. Julian.
Show them what you're pointing.
Sure. Yeah. You guys want to pass those around? But yeah, so I think it's gonna be a lot better than it is now. You know what I mean? It's gonna be all, like he said, DC requires it to be better now than it used to be back when that place was built and that place was paved. You know what I mean?
No, one more question.
Yeah.
In reference to the construction and everything. Is it anticipated, is that gonna stop the flow of traffic on Abbott Road with, I don't know, what kind of heavy machinery or like trucks and everything? Is that gonna slow down traffic? That's a busy street.
I would say once it's on site, it's on site.
The machinery.
The machinery, yeah.
There may be a Chuck Clark development, just like with the Taco Bell, there may be a temporary stop to allow large equipment to come in. But once it's on site, and then the only other time it should stop is when you gotta
When
get
you're
it off.
removing it.
So that'll take a little while, but any inconvenience will be brief, choreographed and minor.
Correct.
Deep Vale and code enforcement. I do believe that's a bigger site than Taco Bell too. So I think
Absolutely.
they'll be able to pull on there and unload on the property.
That's
instead
fair
of-
enough point.
Yeah. you know
Yeah,
what I
for
mean?
sure.
And Taco Bell is a little more tight.
Little tight, yeah. You're-
Existing conditions, there's 3 curb cuts on Abbott Road. I'm sure they can find a way to quickly get on.
Yeah. They could probably back right in there, unload their stuff,
If the
tear it
building
apart.
wasn't up yet, they could get off of Julian Ave and do it that way as well.
How many employees do you guys expect to have?
They employ roughly 12 to 15 and typically in the store somewhere between 3 and 5 at any one time.
The hours of business?
I want to say I have it written down so I can.
I think it was 11 to 9 maybe or something.
It's open 7 days a week.
It is 7 days a week. Sundays shortened.
Yeah,
7:30.
9 o'clock, I think.
Yeah, 7:30 to 9 Monday through Saturday,
Mhm.
and 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sundays.
So
Stores.
basic auto parts stores hours.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right. If they may adjust those hours slightly if, they stay open until 9 and no one's ever there at 9, they might close down a little early or something, but for the most part, that's what they aim to do.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Good job, thorough job.
That's-
You did a good job, very thorough.
2 good jobs in one night.
I would call it a night. I'd be done.
Yeah.
Never mind the vote, let's pick your stuff up.
Yeah.
open it up.
Make a motion.
We have to open it up.
Yeah.
for
You
public hearing.
you can ask the question, Kim, if no one's here, ask if someone's here and only open it up if there is somebody here.
Is there anybody here? In fact, there were a couple of people here earlier that wanted. to-
Mr. Zelinski, did you want to speak?
No,
Okay,
just-
but before you, okay, before you do procedurally, they just need to open it up.
So
So,
I'll entertain a motion to open floor for public hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried, so now we're open for public hearing. So sir, if you wanted to speak.
My name is Dan Zielinski, and I'm the owner of the property at 1271 Abbott Road. I've been on that corner since 1975. When I had the offer from O'Reilly, I thought it was a great mix, the Lackawanna for the neighborhood. And I'm happy that everyone's agreeing. I'm assuming you're agreeing with me. But I want to thank everybody for the time. But I think O'Reilly will do a great job in Lackawanna. They build nice buildings. It'll be an asset to the neighborhood. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? No one else is here, then I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Fran?
Is
Fran second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Do we have to do the negative declaration for this?
You do?
So that is in our packet too. You'll see the short environmental assessment form. And if everybody had a chance to look at that, see the questions on that.
Ms. Smith, Chuck Clark from Development. I will address a question that came in before the planning board. There was some confusion in the community what the term negative declaration meant. Obviously, negative declaration to somebody who doesn't do development thinks that this is a bad thing. Negative declaration in the case of development, when it comes to the state environmental review, is a good thing. It means that there is no anticipated environmental disruptions, problems, or concerns that would affect the neighborhood or surrounding community. So for those who are unclear what a neg deck means, that's what it means. It means it's a good thing.
Does everybody have anything? Oh, okay. And I know sometimes we have questions, so that's fine.
If I may say again, just to add some more color for those who may not be comfortable. Usually when you're looking at a seeker in terms of what disturbance there is to the ground, if there's large swaths of land, like acres and acres of multiple water sources, wetlands, things of that nature, that becomes what they call a type 2 action, and that would be a more detailed seeker review. What you've got here is a standard small retail footprint on a decent sized parcel of property, but you've got existing, water, utility and sewer lines in place. They're actually improving the drainage and the flow of water. And in terms of the impact to the community, they're not destroying, trees or other habitat or things of that nature. Pretty much it's going from a flat surface car lot to a retail store with some surrounding flat surface and preservation of green space. So if you add all that up together, that's why the recommendation is that it's a negative declaration, because the impact and the improvements are all positive to the area.
So if nobody has any questions, then I'll entertain a motion.
Sam Brown motion. Fran second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, any oppositions? Okay, motion carried. And now I'll entertain a motion to approve the site plan. I'll make a motion, one everyone.
I'll second, no seconds.
All in favor? Any opposed? The motion carried. So you all set?
Thank you so much.
Thank you, good luck.
I'll give you the third great job. That really was, for quite a complicated project, that was a wonderful explanation. So, Scott and Steve, you know how to deal with them on next steps.
Yep, it's right now, completing their building drawings, so.
Okay.
Awesome.
You'll see them probably max 2 months.
2 months,
Yeah.
okay.
Asbestos survey and demo.
All right. Yeah.
And if you can let us know when we can just
Yep.
give a more marketing oriented communication to the community beyond what's been done here.
Absolutely. I
Thank
got a
you.
call from first thing in the morning.
No problem at all. Thank you very much. Well,
Question, Kate, but it's not, if, when do you think it will be open?
Um. So I'm not sure on that.
Mhm.
I know if it was O'Reilly's decision, they would break ground
Big
tomorrow.
phone hand.
But likely,
helps.
you know,
Everyone's
all their
concerned about the
contractors he probably booked up for the summer, so they'll probably be this spring when they start construction. So with that, it would probably move late fall, sometime next year.
and that was very similar to the Taco Bell development. If you remember, they had to knock down the old mini mart and the
Mhm.
dietary office. And then they came out in the spring, guns a-blazing, and they were all set. So
Mhm.
very similar time frame and concept.
Who knows, they could get lucky, maybe one of them's free and.
Yeah. Oh, it's.
You can always hope.
Yeah,
Thanks again, Hayden.
Thank
Yep,
you.
thank you.
take care. Have a good one.
You too.
Okay, next on the agenda is Brittany Nowicki. 188 Martin Road, requesting to convert an existing group home to a privately owned New York State sponsored school for 30 to 36 children. Brittany?
I'm Neo Ortiz,
Oh.
now bringing over you.
Okay.
Here and,
Can you state your name again when you come up?
yep. I'll do this a little bit differently. Can't see very well, so. I know it's a pain sometimes, so we'll kind of switch it around. But my name's Miguel Ortiz, I'm a CPO architect.
Can you say your first name again?
Miguel.
Oh, Miguel, okay.
And then. For these guys is. There's data sheets.
Is it the same thing?
2 pages, but yes, same on each. There you go.
You wanna put one down there for them, big one?
Yeah.
They more important than us, sometimes.
Sorry. Flash.
Excuse me, are you go over
Yes.
this? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Cause I remember you, the two of, I don't remember the young lady in the middle, but I remember you on the end and I remember you. All right.
Scott Hayes Code Enforcement. They did this to a previous property on the same location, 170 Martin Road.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's
Yep.
why.
Yep.
That's why I was kind of surprised that you're up here talking, Miguel, because, you know, I remember, all right.
So essentially Amber Lynn, this is Amber Lynn and then, Mary Ann. This is OLV. Amber Lynn, is currently in construction. Essentially, they're doing the same thing what we're gonna do with Mary Ann. Mary Ann has existing bedrooms and it's gonna be converted into, special education classrooms for the local students that are, then bused in from the various schools. From an architectural standpoint, it's a super light lift. And that exteriorly, from an exterior standpoint, nothing's being touched, it's all interior. So there's existing walls that are here, and then also here, that are gonna be demolished. Some doors, a little bit of windows are gonna be replaced, but then areas of the classrooms here, and the 4 classrooms, I'm sorry, are gonna get ACT ceilings, similar to this. So then, the 4 classrooms and then, gross motor room, which is basically a physical education, physical activity classroom. But then mechanical upgrades are gonna be needed, because classrooms require a specific airflow. So that's really it in a nutshell, for project, for the building project. And then program wise, for. Like 40 weeks. And then that's roughly it in a nutshell. I do know that there will be a light site modifications too. At the entrance here, there will be a little curb cut.
No,
Or
no curb cut.
no curb cut,
No.
just
Bus pull out.
bus pull out.
I'm sorry, Mike Gorman, OOV Human Services. We're gonna put a bus pull off pad asphalt, just to accommodate any type of congestion in the parking lot. We already have it set up for bus turnaround, and we'd like to add another portion of, 4 handicap spots, to be shared throughout the buildings there. And also, we're gonna put a concrete sidewalk in from one parking lot on one side of the campus to that building. And we're gonna add a concrete dumpster pad, redo the one we have with screening around it and fence. In the same similar location. So,
This is Chuck Clark from Development. Mr. Gorman or any of the OLV team, can you, because we got some new folks on the board from perhaps the last time you were here, can you give them a quick overview of what the business rationale is, like why this is happening? Why this conversion is happening?
I'm Trista Klutzer, I'm the lead principal of our school age division. We have already gotten approval to convert our Amberlin site and now for our Marion site to support our students in our Victory Learning Center program. We are a program for students with autism or a cognitive disability, combined with larger behaviors, emotions, mental health. And currently I have 301 students on our wait list. So we want to continue to expand our program to accommodate those students on the wait list.
And the group home business kind of weaned and this is gone up?
yes, some residents have transferred to other facilities, because of the critical care that they need. And our population has gone down with, that side of the building, so.
Thanks for the clarification.
With, I have a couple of questions that I guess are similar to my questions before. So I think most of us are familiar with the site. So and I heard what you said as far as the population changing. What happened to, the residents that used to be, I think, court ordered to be in all these different cottages years ago, where some of those cottages were secured, and what happened to that population?
We do have a similar building right now, the new build that we have in back that, took the place of most of those smaller cottages. For the mental health individuals that we have in residence. The other cottages were either torn down because they weren't necessary, or plus the construction of them at the time kind of doesn't meet with the standards of today, as far as aesthetic values go and building everything, old block buildings, so.
Just to add to that, our agency does not currently have students or youth that are court placed with us. We do not have that OCFS program that we had in years past. So we have our residential facility that Mike referenced at 150 Martin Road. That was a new build in, I believe, 2017. That is for students that are placed with us through OMH. And then we do have one OCFS cottage that is for foster care youth. We do not have the OCFS court placed youth anymore.
Okay.
Jared Buckner. So I don't want to reiterate what you said earlier, but I was thinking this is the second pod. So it's just because everything is growing, you have to accommodate so many people is why you are asking for a variance for the second pod.
Yes,
And
that's
so-
correct. We currently have 2 sites operational for this program, one at 125 Martin Road and one over here at 650 Ridge Road. And we are just seeking to increase our population of these youth that need us the most.
So if it continues to grow, which is a good thing, you probably come back and do the same thing again, or?
It's a possibility.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody have any other questions? Because like Chuck reminded me, this, some of us, this is, I think, the first time that some of us have seen this. So, any clarification? Okay, all right. I'm not sure, we have some people here, so I'm not sure, is there anyone here from the public that wanted to speak or get clarification on this project? Okay, all right, so there's no need to have a public hearing, no one is here. So I think I saw, I think I saw a secret site. You know, see the same things. People gonna take a look and see if you have any questions or if you need clarification. Back to the question. Any questions? Okay, so I'm gonna take a motion. Mona, do already, a second. All in favor? Alright, any oppositions? Motion carried. And now I'll entertain a motion to approve the site plan.
Friend, motion to approve.
Dan Brown second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you very much.
Mike, you know where to get the permits.
Things change.
Yeah.
It's really interesting, I think. Especially with the,
Been a very fun journey to be.
uh-huh,
The program started with 12 residential youth and.
no, I'm going back.
Oh,
way,
yeah. Yeah.
No, I'm going way. But it's good, you have to keep changing and, yeah. Okay.
Well, good luck. Thank you.
Thank you
Yep,
very
much.
thank you.
You're welcome to stay or you're welcome to go if your time is precious, whatever you want to do.
So next on the agenda is Hannah Aziz at 106 AM and is requesting to move an existing daycare from 89 Lehigh to 106 AM.
Hi. I'm Shannon, just representing Little Eagles Daycare.
If you could speak up a little bit.
Like you said, we just wanted to move the existing daycare from 89 to 89 behind the windows. How long have you had the one on behind? It'll be, well, we've been open since 19 years, so it'll be 20 years actually. Wow.
Jared Buckman. So why the move? That's a bigger space?
Bigger space, bigger yard, yeah.
And then for the existing partial, that your residence too on, Lehigh?
Yes, that was the residence.
And is that your resident?
Yes. We were just renting that apartment. It was we were renting that apartment,
Oh.
now we just bought the house, this house now, and we're doing the.
This is Kim Smith. How many kids are you gonna have, Hannah?
We can have up to 16. With two people. If there's one person, we can have 8. Wanna do are you gonna increase it since it's a bigger place? You have to keep the same group family daycare. Okay.
Yes.
Michael knows, I do have a question. Is there gonna be, are you using the property for anything other than the daycare? Or is it strictly daycare? Just nothing else living there?
There's somebody has to be on a resident, so I'm living upstairs.
Okay,
Yep, it's up and down, all the bedrooms are upstairs, no bedrooms downstairs. Downstairs, just literally, we're just using it all for the daycare, it's just living room, dining room, kitchen.
gotcha.
So it's a two-family house,
No, it's one.
one family. Any other questions?
You wanna do are you hiring any new people? No. Okay.
Yeah, from here. So this is, you're under all the New York State compliance and rules and regulations and stuff like that.
Oh,
I believe it is in the main packet, but they didn't want it in all the packets, just for personal information, correct?
And there's, I saw a little bit of something here, but.
Yeah.
So it's Jared Buckman. So you're already licensed, so you don't have to go through all that. You just moving the business.
we had to get relicensed, it's a new address, but
Oh, okay.
everything already passed the date. This one got approved, the other one got disallowed, so we had to move everything with it.
So are you already out in operation or no?
Yes.
Clark from Development, there was a little bit of a confusion as to whether or not they needed to come and get a new site plan. So in the interest of their time, they did move. And so you're kind of looking at something a little after the fact, but it was a misunderstanding, not a purposeful ignoring of the rule.
Mhm.
We just wanted to make sure everything was covered.
And code enforcement has been in there, so.
Fire marshal's been in there for inspection and everything.
There is a daycare inspector as well, who works with the fire marshal to
Yeah.
inspect all.
It was actually these guys in the fire marshal that educated them on what needed to happen here.
Any other questions?
Sounds easy if it's been working for 19 years.
Right.
Slam dunk.
Just moving from point A to point B. Okay, so, and I don't see anyone here from the public, I think we had people earlier. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so if no questions, and I'll entertain a motion to approve. I'll make a motion on that bill.
One second.
All in favor? Is it opposed? Okay, motion carries. So.
Yep.
She has business registration. on
Business
that?
registration could be signed now. Yes,
So you know your business registration, you gotta complete that? Okay.
through the clerk's office.
Yeah, 215 Phillips House. Yep.
And Ron Wilson. Little second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.